Oh,
And your camera worked too.
And what?
There wasn't none of the weird, ambiance around your camera. Look at that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Look at that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have my applause. I keep forgetting to add that back to my sounds, but big Spano in the house. Big show
on a tight ship.
Lined up. Oh my God. We literally just spent like 20-something minutes in silence while I'm trying to figure out why the live stream wouldn't work. But anyway,
and it was Discord's problem.
And it was Discord's problem.
I bet my camera would work now.
You son of a bitch. Don't even try it because I don't even want to do it.
I'm
That's why
turning it on.
Frank is still and where he is at right now. So, coming up on the show today, we're going to have a battle between Spano and Frank on who knows their college football team the best. Don't worry, we're going to introduce Spano here in just a moment. We have a wrestling draft for the best three-man tag team. We have Onion headlines. We have What Is My Dog? My 16-year-old dog. I got the DNA test done, and we're going to show some pictures, see if people can guess what he is, and then we're going to reveal exactly what he is. We also have the Gen Z game and the Stallone movie draft. Vero, what's up? Welcome to the chat. That's the one thing that we always try to pattern it around. Like, we had Julie Jules on last week, and so we did the basketball movie draft. And so for this week, Spano's a big Stallone fan. So let's meet Mr. John Spano. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. You're running a tight ship around here.
I'm trying to, man. Oh, and the beard's in the chat. Noah, the beard, is there. So, essentially, who Mr. Spano is, we met down in South Florida back in, when did you start at 93 Rock, by the way? When was that?
Oh, my gosh. 09, maybe?
2009. So, we worked at 93 Rock together. That station flipped formats in 2010. Then we ended up doing something called Spano's Big Radio Show, which the beard was there as well during that, which was great. And we're going to get to a lot of that stuff coming up here in just a second. Although I think I need to boost your mic a little bit there, Spano. Let me give you a little boost. Give me a Go Gators.
Go Gators!
All right, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. See, that is a professional right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is 100% a professional. So we did Spano's Big Radio Show. I like how you could see me adjusting his volume on the stream. That's the tight ship that I'm running right there. If you guys could see that on the live stream. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So, really quick, before I get to that, though, don't forget about the member tiers that we have here on the channel. We do have a couple of different tiers. There's the 99-cent tier. That's a channel supporter. It definitely helps sort of kind of keep this channel going. It helps me pay for all of the equipment and apparently all the shit that I'm going through here as well. So it's 99 cents a month. If you can do that, it just goes straight to paying for all of the stuff that we have here on the show. There's also the Memberlorian tier, which is $4.99 a month. We do have a couple of those. I know that Frank is actually a member of
I found the emojis.
And he found hence the reason that he's doing he's in the chat with the emojis.
Spam them in the chat.
And Scott is here as well. Mr. Scotty C, the sports guy. Well, I'm glad to see that everybody is here hanging out, and we are going to get to some photos here so we can actually see what everybody looked like back when we were Spano's Big Radio Show.
Where's this chat you speak of?
It's on YouTube.
Ah, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, you got to have YouTube open for that there, buddy. So this was the SBRS crew. As you can see, that's me on the left. Scotty C is the one next to me, and then it's Mr. Spano. We have Rena, who she was there at the very beginning. And then that was about it. And then we've got the beard right here with his Hurricanes jersey on. Now, I got to ask you a question, Spano. Who's on my shirt?
Oh, man. I used to tease you about that shirt.
Okay, hold on. Alan, who's on my shirt?
That's Animal.
No, it's Elmo. That was your Elmo shirt.
No, it's Animal, you jackass. So that became a running, and I wish I had the one image that Spano had put together, because right when we were running this, because he asked me, but he's like, "Why is there Elmo on your shirt?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's Animal," and it blew his mind that it wasn't Elmo. And so there was.
You do seem kind of like an Elmo guy, though.
And there was It was when, was it Katy Perry was on Saturday Night Live and she's wearing an Elmo shirt with her tits all pushed up?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And he photoshopped my face onto her. It was brilliant. All right, so that's the Spano's Big Radio crew. This was one of the stunts that we did where we took the beard and we sent him out into the great unknowns of South Florida in a bikini. By
Is
the
that
way,
the VD Delight?
no, because he was more was more dressed up like a Cupid, I think, when it was the VD
with
Delight.
The adult diaper, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's right, the adult diaper. And by the way, so the beard, who's here in the chat, he has our signatures tattooed on his back.
Mm-hmm.
We did that live on the air, by the way.
You think he still has them?
How
You
many?
think he didn't cover him up?
Beard, let us know. Did you cover it up? Let us know in the chat. Also, got to go through a couple other pictures here. They're going down memory lane from 93 Rock. This was one of the events. I'm assuming. Oh, it's the Rock and Brew, hence the shirts
And
that you
your
guys are
Elmo
wearing.
shirt again.
And again, could you tell that this was one of my favorite shirts at the time? The beard says forever, by the way. And he says, thanks, guys. Thanks, Scott, for bar hopping with him. And Noah says he still has it and will never cover it up. I would.
Nice.
And I got another picture here of
Loyalty right there.
Spano. And so, Spano, what I need to know from you right here is what is going on
Uh-oh.
here.
Uh-oh. Okay. So I got to throw out the first pitch for they were the Florida Marlins then.
Packed
That's
house.
Hanley
Packed
Ramirez
house, as you
walking.
can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miami home game.
Yeah. Hanley Ramirez walking behind me.
Yeah.
And totally airmailed it. Right over the catcher. I almost hit Billy the Marlin, who was behind the catcher. I just had too much adrenaline going through me.
So, well, and you also threw from the mound, right?
I did. They gave me the option, and I was like, "Yeah, of course, I want to go to the mound."
So he'd been
But I didn't
been
realize-
practicing on flat ground. Then when you move to the mound, the thing's going to sail on you. So if you don't know this about Spano, diehard Yankee fan, diehard Florida Gators fan, huge rock guy. He was kind of the guy for the local music scene, which is one of the reasons we did Spano's big
Kind
radio
of.
show down there. He was kind of the guy.
I was the ambassador for South Florida local rock.
He was.
I spanned 3 rock stations: Zeta, 93 Rock, and the Buzz in West Palm Beach, hosting the local show on all 3.
He did, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that we played a lot of local bands on Spano's big radio show, and it was just us sort of spending an hour on Saturday nights goofing around on the radio, kind of like how now we do this Wednesdays here on my YouTube channel, because I like doing it, damn it. Like, have you tried to get away from broadcasting, Spano? Like, have you just not done it?
I did. Well, I had 2 kids and moved out of state, and so it was kind of easy to stay out of broadcasting for a little bit. But then my buddies were bugging me, and we decided to do some podcasting. So that's how I got back in it.
Oh, and you do have your current podcast, which is what?
The All for the Gators podcast, and 4 is the number 4.
And you're on multiple radio stations with that?
Yes, we have 2 radio affiliates, both home of the Gators in their markets in Jacksonville and Tampa, which is the top 2 listenership cities we have.
Oh,
So it makes sense.
so you get the All for the Gators podcast, because again, it's the same thing. Like, I worked for the morning show here in El Paso, got let go from there, ended up I did podcasting with Shim for a while. While I was still at the morning show, we did we did Rockstar 101, we did History of Rock for a while, and then eventually got to the point, like, Frank was even the one that brought this up back, was it probably October, Frank, do you think?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And he was just like, hey, we should just do something. So I kind of built everything together, and now here on Wednesdays, we just kind of shoot the shit, and we have some fun. I got 2 more pictures to go down memory lane here with you there, Spano. I got this one. Do
Okay,
you
go for it.
remember this night?
I don't. Who is that?
So, Spano's in the
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Hold on. If I were to share with you this picture, would you remember who that is?
Oh my God, I know who it is.
I can't. It's too small on my screen. I can't.
Those are his
That's the
hands.
problem. Okay, so it's Kai. And my buddy Kai was visiting, and so Spano and I, we didn't really live close to each other, but we were always trying to, like, where's middle ground that we can meet up at? And it was Hooters. And so it was at this Hooters, and Kai was in town. And it's one thing with Kai, he's
He's got a chair on his head.
Yeah, he's a performer.
He's a showman.
And so he's balancing a stool on his chin. Now, the one great thing about Kai, well, to go with like many, many great things about Kai because he's awesome. There's an easy way to get free drinks with him. He has very small hands. And so what we would do is when we would go to bars, you would find a waitress or a server who was shorter, and you would say, hey, if your hand is bigger than his, will you get us a round of shots for free? And them thinking there's no way that this is possible would be willing to do that. So this tiny little Hooters waitress that's going back to back with Kai, her hands were bigger than his.
Dude, that picture doesn't do him any justice either. Just like every stereotype of a ginger, just so white you can't even see him.
Just glaring off the screen.
He is the Flash. There was no Flash on the camera. That was
looked
just
directly
him.
into his face.
Yep. Yep. All right, so Spano being a radio guy, I found this on the local subreddit, the El Paso subreddit down here, and somebody had posted this. So KLIQ is the morning show, the station that I was on, and it's basically KLIQ sucks, changed my mind. But I want you guys to know, Spano, you're not going to be able to read this because it's going to be too small. Can any of you guys see the username that has posted this?
Mr. Boner Pants.
Mr. Boner Pants. So again, one of the reasons that it's fantastic, just kind of farting around online and seeing the things that you can see. So I saw this, and it's basically they're complaining about the music that they play. And so I was putzing around and kind of looking at the different posts that people had commented on this one. And I figured I need to set the record straight on some of the stuff, because one of the people here puts, from what I learned, it's at the will of the program director to decide what music to play. Whoever lines the pockets of that guy will have the music played. I used to work at a place where the radio was on all day. I learned that they pretty much play the same set of songs in groups and repeat it. After that, I can't bear to listen to the radio anymore. The ads and same shitty music over and over again. I'd rather drive in silence. And so that, there you go, is completely 100% false. I mean, well, it's not at the will.
12 upvotes.
Huh?
You got 12 upvotes.
Yeah, it's because there's a lot of people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. So it's not at the will of the program director, but it is the program director who does essentially choose the music that's played. And the thing that I find interesting when it comes to posts like this is people get upset because they want the radio station to be their radio station. And how dare you play this song so much, or how dare you play this band so much? If the radio station catered to people that way, they would all be out of business, because the entire point is to gather the largest audience possible. And there's a lot of money that goes into research as to what music to play and when to play it. And the lining of the program director's pocket, that doesn't happen anymore. Spano, were you even in radio when you could still, like, the record labels could technically pay before Payola Plugola?
No, and if I wasn't in any prominent role.
You didn't have like a local band reaching out to you, telling you to, spin their new track.
No. I did not at all. I mean, they tried to coerce me in other ways. I got a ton of free drinks and
Yeah, there was a couple times that we brought the house down. Jesus Christ!
Oh, they shut us down at the Hard Rock. You remember that?
Oh my God!
We had some kind of local band competition at the Hard Rock. They wanted me to host, so we hosted, and they gave us a free tab. It was like a 3-day. It was like a 3-week or 4-week deal. After the first week, that first day, because it was one night, it was like a Wednesday night for 4 weeks. After that first week, they came to us, the staff at Hard Rock, like the manager, and said, "Yeah, we can't do that." I mean, we shut them down.
We were in this one specific area. Was that the night Kenny Chesney was there, by the way? Remember?
Yep.
They had a whole section roped off for Kenny friggin' Chesney. So it was, and it's where the bands performed, and it was just this battle of the bands. We just whittle it down, and that area. When we were even done there, we went to another bar at the Hard Rock, and we kept drinking there. Like it was, it didn't feel good the next day. I'll tell you that. So one more comment from this post that was on Reddit, and this person says, it feels like they bought the license to play 100 songs and never bought more because whenever I tune in, they're always playing the same 5. It can feel that way, and there's even times where you might hear a commercial for something, and you hear that commercial every commercial break. This happened down in South Florida where one of the salespeople started to argue with Kevin, our boss, about this song that he was playing too much of. And he tried to explain to them, we don't play that song. We didn't play it. It was in a commercial that was being paid for a concert for that band. And it goes to show you how your brain will kind of play tricks on you. And so we're back to Mr. Boner Pants down here, the OP, and he says, for real. And again, this goes to show you why you have to take comments just online and on the internet with a gigantic grain of salt. For real, I called them one time in middle school to tell them they suck. And here I am 22 years later, still feeling the same about them. So what's the damn
Move
point?
on, man.
Yeah, dude, right? Okay. Just making sure.
Man.
Isn't the Beard's Twitter handle Boner Pants or whatever?
It might
Or
be.
no?
Maybe he
Is
was
it?
tuning into the El Paso radio scene down here.
Okay, that's right.
Over on YouTube, Beard says, back before Spano and I were friends, I defiantly did some begging, or definitely did some begging to get the band on. And he probably would have done it if you would have just admitted that Led Zeppelin was the greatest band ever. All right. It's time for the first kind of competition today. No points will be awarded to this one officially because since Land's not going to be in on this, it doesn't seem really fair to leave him out. But we have Mr. Spano, diehard Gators fan, drinking out of a Gators mug right now. And we have Frank, who's a diehard Seminoles fan. So I have 6 total questions here for each of you. And you guys need to give me the correct answers. The question is the same for each of you. So I'm going to start with you, Spano.
Oh boy, I might get them all wrong. Doesn't mean I'm not.
Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. At least you guys tried. All right, so Spano, the first question is, who has the most career passing yards for the Florida Gators?
This week.
Got it.
Come on, man.
Hey, you know, easy. All right. So what's the?
All right, I'm calming down.
Do you know how many yards he threw for? That's just a bonus.
I want to say 12,000 something.
Close. 11,213 is how many. All right, Frank, same question for you. Who has the most career passing yards for the Florida State Seminoles?
You know, we've had so many great players come through here, and there's so many that I could go with. You know, I mean, there's just so many. I'm gonna go with Jameis Winston.
No, I'm sorry. It's not Jameis Winston, ladies.
Like I said, it's Chris Winkie.
It is Chris Winkie, but you don't get the point. All right, so Spano's up 1-0. Second question for you, Spano. Who has the most passing yards in a game for the Florida Gators? The single game record.
See, you're trying to trick me here, and it's a guy that wasn't very good, and he threw for 550. And I got to think of his name. Son of a... How long do I have? How long is this show?
Clock is ticking down.
Man, he was not good at all. He was horrible, but he had a heck of a game, and he threw for 550. And
Well, I
I'm
can
not
already
gonna be able to
tell
think
you
of
it wasn't
right now.
550 because that's not what I have in the record books here
For a game?
for one game.
What
But
do
I
you
can
have?
tell you that this quarterback did suck.
What do you got?
It's Tim Tebow.
No, that's not right. That's not right.
If I'm wrong,
not right.
I could be wrong because I have it here. Tim Tebow threw for 482 in the 2009 Sugar Bowl. He's going to the
Okay.
phone. He's going to the phone.
Fact
You
checking.
know it, man. Hold on a minute. I don't keep talking, guys.
All right, same question to you then, Frank. Who has the most passing yards in a game for the Florida State Seminoles?
Going with Chris Wanky again.
There you go. Do you know how many he threw for?
It was like a 500-yard game, like 502, 505.
A little bit more. 536 in
Okay,
the year
536.
2000.
Yeah, I remember that year.
And he did that against Duke.
Yeah,
Did
baby.
you find who you're talking about there, Spano?
Yeah, I was wrong. Tebow.
Who were you?
I'm thinking maybe it was a bowl game and it didn't count.
No, because his was a bowl game. His was in the Sugar Bowl.
All right, enough.
It was Tim Tebow.
Jeez.
All right, you guys are tied up at 1. Next question. Who has the most career rushing yards for the Florida Gators? John Spano.
Kirk Brett.
There you go. Isn't it Eric? Brett?
Eric Brett.
Eric? Brett.
It's just Eric.
All right, he rushed for 4,163 yards from 1990 to 1993. Frank, same question. Who has the most career rushing yards for the Florida State Seminoles?
We're talking about just running backs.
Just rushing yards.
We've had a lot of athletes come through, Florida State up here. I want to go with Cook, but I'm pretty sure it's wrong. But I'm going to go with Cook.
It is Dalvin Cook. You guys are tied up at 2. Cook, from 2014 to 2016, rushed for 4,464
And his
yards.
O-line was straight trash, and he still set that record.
Had about 8 fumbles in the Rose Bowl against the Oregon Ducks. All right, next question here. Who has the most rushing yards in a single game for the Florida Gators? John Spano.
Emmett Smith. Has to be Emmett. Over 300.
Emmett Smith rushed for 316 yards in
Is that against
1989
Vanderbilt?
against New Mexico. All right, Frank, same question. Who has the most rushing yards in a single game for the Florida State Seminoles?
We'll just go with Cook again. I know it's not him, but I'm going to go with... It's either that. I'm thinking Sammy Smith, but I'm going to go with Cook.
Greg Allen.
Ah,
You know what year that was?
that was the 80s, man. Like 80... 86, 87?
1981, and he did it against
Okay.
Western Carolina. Powerhouse, Western Carolina in the early 80s. All right, here we go. John Spano. Who has the
Hey,
most...
can I say one thing about the last question?
Oh, God.
Sorry to interrupt. There was a little quip. I will call it a quip. A little quip about Emmett Smith rushing against Vanderbilt or New Mexico. By the way, he happened to do pretty well in the NFL. So he was pretty good. It wasn't just New Mexico's defense.
It wasn't
All right,
as good as Barry Sanders.
I won't. I like Barry.
He actually on this for the single game. Emmett Smith has the top 2, and do you know who
Yeah,
he
and
rushed?
what's-
Do you know? So that was number 1 was against New Mexico. Number 2, he rushed for 224 yards against
Alabama.
Alabama.
Come on, man.
Hey, you never know. You never know. We've all drank a lot of alcohol in our days, and we forget things sometimes. All right, Spano, next question. Who has the most career receiving yards for the Florida Gators?
Carlos Alvarez.
Jesus, that's a deep pull, too.
Wow.
Remember when he was playing? What years were that?
That was back in the, I want to say the 60s.
1969 to 1971. Carlos Alvarez,
Okay.
2,563 yards. Good pull. Frank, same question. Who has the most career receiving yards for the Florida State Seminoles?
God, I want to go Fred Biletnikoff, but I know it's not Fred.
If I answer it right, do I win automatically?
Yeah, go
This
for it.
question.
I'll give it to you.
Can I try? I don't know. if I'm
Well,
right
hold
or
on,
not.
Frank. Frank, what's your guess?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just going Biletnikoff, but yeah.
It is not.
Can I go Peter Warwick?
I mean, you can. It's wrong.
Ah, all right.
Yeah, no, it's going to
Alright.
be just like some. It's got to be from the early 70s when they were just slinging it left and right.
Nope,
80s
it's from
maybe.
2011 to 2014.
Really?
Yeah. Rashad Green.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably
Who?
Rashad Green.
What?
He was the
Rashad
one that was
Green.
Winston's favorite target at that time, but did nothing in the pros.
All right,
Makes
so
sense.
I got a final question here, but Spanos pretty much got it all wrapped up. 'Cause he's up 4-2 right now. But final question, you got to pay attention to this one. Which school between Florida and Florida State has more combined national championships and Heisman Trophy winners? Spano, go first.
I'm going to say Florida.
Frank?
I know we got more national championships.
Yeah, well, I'll go Florida State. We're gonna just split it.
Well, if you guys went even, you guys would have gotten it because it's a tie.
Push.
So
you go.
I've got 3 Heismans for the Gators: Steve Spurrier in 1966, Danny Horfel in 1996, and Tim Tebow in 2007. I've got 3 national titles: 1996, 2006, and 2008, plus 2 unclaimed titles in 84 and 85. And then for the Noles, you've got 3 Heisman Trophy winners: Charlie Ward in 1993, Chris Winkie in 2000, and Jameis Winston in 2013, plus 3 national titles: 93, 99, and 2013. Although Florida State, according to their Wikipedia page, have 6 unclaimed national championships.
What does that mean? What does it mean?
What is
unclaimed?
unclaimed?
I don't know.
Like they left it at the airport?
See, well, now here's what's interesting. Because in 1996, I think it's because if they were in another poll, like not like the USA Today or one of the big polls, if they were technically first in that one, because in 1996 they have an unclaimed national title, which is interesting because Florida beat Florida State for the national title in 1996.
Yeah, in the
No, you can't
Fruitcake
do
Bowl.
I know. I just blew all y'all's minds, but we'll give it to Spano, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. I'm going to give you 1 fresh point right there. And see, that is how they clap down in Florida because they're usually so drunk they need to keep their hands in
They're
front of them,
sideways.
far enough away from their face.
Hey, come on.
Because
Gator chomp.
they're seeing multiples, ladies and gentlemen. All right. It is wrestler draft time.
Oh yeah.
So what we're doing here, this is kind of like the movie draft that we do. And so what we're doing is we're all going to try to pick the best 3-man tag team that we can come up with here. Lots of chat. Scuba Steve's here in the chat. Sorry, but it took so long to get over to you. He was saying go Knowles, by the way.
Yeah, he's old.
All right, so Spano, we'll go first with you. Lan, you can go second, and then Frank will go third, and then I'll go fourth. Let me get my stuff all set up here really quick.
So am I picking 3 guys that I think are the best 3 that would just whip anybody, or am I picking my 3
It's whatever your 3
favorite wrestlers?
whichever you want.
You're doing one
And
at a time,
yeah,
right?
you're doing them one at a time. So you got to make sure that you got your top picks. It's like that time you told me to draft Aaron Rodgers #1 overall in your fantasy football league when the Fighting Elmos kicked
did?
your ass.
You were in my
Fighting
league like for
Elmos.
1 year,
And I won it.
and he wins it.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then going back to the
I've
shirt,
had the league for 30 years.
my team name was the Fighting Elmos. All right. So what order are we doing here? We got Spano, Lan, Frank, and then me. All right. So Spano, in your wrestling triple threat match, essentially is what you're going for. What is going to be your #1 pick?
This is a no-brainer. This is very easy.
Gilbert.
You were born. Gilbert. Yeah. No.
Eugene.
I mean, the song still gives me goosebumps when I hear it. I am a real American. Fight for the rights of. Now my
The Iron
kid,
Sheik?
my 7-year-old's doing it. That's his walk-up song in baseball. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Hulk Hogan, circa mid 80s.
All right.
Not late 80s, mid like 84, 85, 86.
Oh, he's going Hogan. Oh yeah, brother. All right, Lan, who's your #1 pick?
I think I've said this on one of the videos we've done before, but probably my favorite wrestler of all time, and who actually did fight Hulk Hogan in New Japan Wrestling. I'm going with the Great Muta / Kaiji
Great
Muta.
Muta, I was gonna say that.
Oh. You have brought that
those
up
are
before.
some great matches on YouTube. Have you
Yes.
seen those matches?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
I'm sure
Oh,
Alan has
pretty
seen them
athletic
multiple
then.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. I think we did a full video on the Great Muta, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right,
Talk
Frank.
about the Muta scale.
And yes, we did talk about. Are you familiar with the Muta scale, Spano?
I am not.
Lane, would you like to describe the Muta scale?
It's basically a rating of how bloody a match can get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because he had a match against Hiroshi Hase, and there were forks involved, and lots of blood on the mat. So it's
Okay, so
all
now-
relevant to that match.
So we're talking Abdullah the Butcher type stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Forks.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
All right, Frank. Who's your number one pick?
Although he
I'm
gave
gonna-
everybody a disease. So
He did.
I'm gonna go with the icon who is finally retiring in
The
about
Iron
a week
Sheik!
or so. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sting.
Oh,
Perfect.
there
All right,
it
all right.
is. Going, rocking, and rolling with Sting. Now, are you going like blonde flat top Sting, or are you going with
Nah,
the
you got to go
Crow?
with the Crow Sting. The guy just came and obliterates 20 guys.
Yeah.
Scott Hall, selling the hell out of every punch that he took at that point.
Coming from
That
the
was great.
rafters.
Yeah,
Still,
that's all you needed. You didn't need to say anything.
still hands down, one of the greatest wrestling clips ever is when he's wearing a Sting mask and pulls it off, and he's still got the paint on.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Still does that.
All right. So I get to go back to back here. I have personal stories with my first two picks, and I wasn't able to find the one picture. However, I'll bring this one up for you guys. My number one pick. You guys know who that is?
Jake the Snake.
That is Jake the Snake Roberts, ladies and gentlemen. Got to meet him a few years ago. Super cool guy. And again, if you want a story of redemption, it's Jake the Snake Roberts. You can go watch Beyond the Mat, and you're going to think the guy's just an absolute piece of shit. And then you get to the redemption of Jake the Snake Roberts, which was it's so good. And so, the picture on the left, that's me with Jake the Snake. Picture on the right, that's his fucking handprint.
Nice.
So basically, he had me do the trap thing on them fuckers,
The handprint looks like a skull.
and he got me twice. By the way, like he hit me once,
Looks
and
like
he
a
was
rash.
and he was laughing, and I sold it so well. He did it again, and do you want to know what my reaction was to all of this?
Is it the Elmo face?
I hugged the man without a shirt on.
Please don't hurt me again, sir.
You're crying in that picture,
This-
aren't you?
Yeah. This was, I want to say it was either on my birthday or the day before. And this goes down. I've had some pretty epic birthdays in my time. And this one is right there towards the top of getting the crap beat out of me by Jake the Snake Roberts on my birthday. So he's my number one pick. Unfortunately, the second one, I do have a picture with him. I ran out of time trying to get it. But my second one, another story of somebody that I got to meet, hang out with, gave me a high five as I was sitting front row at Survivor Series. Ladies and gentlemen, well, it's the big show. And that's just simply because I've met him and the guy's fantastic. He was a super nice guy. And so that's why I'm going with the big show. All right, Frank, who's your
I have
second
a
pick?
big show story.
Oh, dude, hold on, Frank. Go, tell us.
I was working in Gainesville in radio. I was doing the morning show on Rock 104 in Gainesville, and one of my buddies was working at the ale house, and WCW was in town, and I get a call, and he says, "Hey, the Giant just walked in." Back then, he was the Giant when he first started.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, no, actually, no. It was WCW. I said, all right, I'm coming. Hang up, grab like two of my buddies, call them. We head over. I put on my NWO shirt. We head over. We get a table. I didn't want to bother him. He was eating like all-you-can-eat crab legs, like just a mound.
So he was at the bar, just
He's eating half the ocean.
No, he was at a table with his girlfriend who was like 4'10", made no sense. 4'10", 80 pounds. I don't know how that worked.
I
But
was just trying to figure out
I
how to
waited till he
do
was
it.
done.
Well, I know how it
I
works.
went over, introduced myself, and I told him I did the radio show here, whatever. asked him if I can get a picture. He said, sure. He said, what do you want to do? I said, get me up in the choke slam. He's like, all right. So we took a couple pictures doing the 2 sweet, and then he got me up in the choke slam, and we took the picture. And back then, it was those cameras that you had to develop. That picture did not develop.
Oh,
But I do have the one where we're doing the 2 sweet.
Oh man,
Yeah, and
that
I was like almost hitting the
sucks.
ceiling.
Oh,
Dude, it was crazy.
that's a fantastic story. Thank you for sharing, Spano.
Mhm.
All right, Frank, number 2 pick. What do you got?
I'm gonna go with the dirtiest player in the game. I'm gonna go with Ric Flair.
Oh, the
pick.
Nature Boy. All right, so far you got Sting and Ric Flair. And Lan, who are you gonna team up right now with the Great Muta?
I'm going current, but slightly current. But this is the guy that got me back into wrestling a few years ago.
Chris Jericho.
And that's Kenny Omega.
Oh, all right. Little Kenny Omega action. Lan going.
Is it AEW or is he WWE?
He's AEW.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
out right now,
Right.
recovering, but yeah, he's there.
Sorry, I'm checking the YouTube chat. All right, Spano, we're back to you. You get to go back to back right now. So far, you got Hulk Hogan. Who are you putting with Hulk Hogan?
And I got to go with my number 2. And if it wasn't for one of your picks, he might not have, exploded the way he did. I'm going to go with Stone Cold Steve Austin, baby. Austin 316, and I just whooped your ass. Jake the Snake's, what was that? King of the
King
Ring.
of
King of the Ring. Yep, King of the Ring.
Right? 96,
Yeah, he said
something
Austin
like that.
316 says, I just whipped your ass. You
Yes,
are
sir.
welcome. All right, you got one more. You get to go back to back. Who are you pairing up with Hulk
Ooh,
Hogan
really?
and Stone
Wow.
Cold?
I feel like I need to throw a wild card in there. Like just somebody nuts.
Doink the
I was
Clown.
thinking, no,
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
The
I'm
demon.
gonna do it.
Hornswoggle.
I'm gonna do it. Here we go.
Ooh.
I need a nut job in there because Hogan and Stone Cold could whoop them, but you need somebody off their rocker. I'm gonna go. You guys might not remember him. The Missing Link.
The Missing Link. I do remember him.
You remember? He was green and he had like the afro puffs
Yep.
on the side of his head, and he was just nuts. I'm going Missing Link.
That is
Doing it.
That was like WWF Superstars era.
That's right.
The Missing Link.
Heyday.
All right, Lan, who are you
My
pairing
heyday.
up with the Great Muta and Kenny Omega?
Okay,
Shocker.
I'm gonna go weird on this one too, and and hopefully this is acceptable, but probably one of the greatest managers of all time.
Carl Malone.
But also when he was in the ring, he actually did pretty good. Bobby Heenan.
Oh, okay. Not bad,
Nice.
not bad. Yeah, he wrestled. So that counts. You can pick a
He wasn't
manager.
bad.
Oh, you could have picked the good old JR if you wanted to. I'd let you throw him in there. All right, Frank, third and final pick. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with my favorite wrestler when I was growing up in the late '90s. That's DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. He has a great
Wow.
story.
Diamond Cutter.
He has a great story as to how old he was at the time, and just everything after that he's done is great too.
All right, so as I'm looking here, there are a whole lot of wrestlers that have not been chosen. I thought before I kind of came up with the idea of picking wrestlers that I have met before, I thought about going with a Sabu Sandman Taz combination,
Ooh.
going for some ECW
Some ECW, yeah.
action.
Yeah.
Some other guys that haven't been mentioned. You got obviously Chris Jericho, John Cena. Nobody picked Andre the Giant. Nobody wanted Andre the Giant, huh?
I had him on my list, but at the last second, I changed it up and I went with the wild card.
Because you went with the wild card.
Did.
Every team needs a wild card. Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, Bret the Hitman Hart, Goldberg. Frank did pick Ric Flair. Let me delete that. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Mick Foley / Mankind / Dude Love / Cactus Jack. Would take your pick. Triple H or The Rock. None of them have been chosen.
The Rock was next on my list, but I decided, like Spano, I was going to go a little bit different. With my last
Well,
one.
I'm going with one here that has a definitive Portland connection.
The Mummy.
No. Land probably knows what I'm talking about.
Shockmaster.
Yeah, Shockmaster.
Nope.
You remember that?
I don't think I remember the show. Do you remember the show?
Oh, you got to look that
Oh.
up. That's
Oh,
great.
Shockmaster
It's
is
hilarious.
All right, I got to make a note to go look
Should
up the
I s-
Shockmaster. So who am I talking about?
Are
Lane,
we
you know
not
what I'm
going to
talking
say
about?
what it is? You're going to go look it up?
No,
think you should-
I'm seeing if you guys, like I'm telling you, it's a Portland connection with this wrestler.
Portland
Okay.
Connection, right?
Rowdy
You
Roddy
said
Piper.
Connection. Well, I
Frank just said
think. Oh, okay.
So, you
I was
didn't
going to
hear
say
him.
Eddie Guerrero.
No, I mean, if I wanted to go El Paso, yeah, hell yeah. He was born in. It's all they talk about down here. No, I'm going Rowdy Piper, ladies and gentlemen. Rowdy Piper. All right, so quick rundown here. Spanos, big three. You've got Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the missing link. Lan has the Great Muta, Kenny Omega and Bobby Heenan. Frank has Sting, Ric Flair, and DDP. I have Jake the Snake Roberts, The Big Show, and Rowdy Piper. All right, it is time for Onion Headlines, ladies and gentlemen. I have 3 headlines here. One of them is real, 2 of them are fake. The guys here have to guess which one is real. Wow, Scuba Steve really wanted Hacksaw Jim Duggan to be picked, man.
USA.
You know, the beard's got a pretty damn good 3-way right there in his. The Rock, Undertaker, and Mankind. That's very late 90s, early 2000s.
Does Scotty C have one? Did he make any picks or not?
Scotty C saying shout out Hillbilly Jim.
They picked him out of the crowd. Remember that? He was a plant.
All right. Headline number 1. Again, you guys have to guess which one of these is real and which 2 are from The Onion. Headline number 1. Missouri law says pregnant women can't get divorced. Again, Missouri law says pregnant women can't get divorced. Headline number 2. Norway to start hiding its standard of living to make other countries feel better about themselves. Norway to start hiding its standard of living to make other countries feel better about themselves. And number 3, headline, NASA seeks volunteers for simulated Mars mission. Again, that's NASA seeks volunteers for simulated Mars mission. And Span, we're going to start with you. Which one do you think is the real headline?
I'm going to go. That's tough. I'm going to go with number 1.
Spano's going with number 1. All right, we're going to switch this up. Frank, you're next. Which one are you going with?
Number 3 is the real headline, Jim.
Frank is going with number 3. And Lan, which one?
I'm 3 also.
He's also
That
going.
one sounds real. Yeah.
He's also going with 3. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a winner. And it is John Spano, ladies and gentlemen. Missouri law says pregnant women can't get divorced.
I saw that article earlier today.
Did you really? So the NASA seeks volunteers for simulated mission to Mars. I pulled that one aside because it was funny because it says NASA put an open call for applications to take part in a simulated Mars mission in which a 4-person crew will live and work for a full year inside a 1,700 square foot Mars Dune Alpha habitat at NASA's Johnson Space Center. And the stuff that they do is just hilarious sometimes. Like here they put it's a comment from a guy named Dennis who's a card counter. That's his profession. You know, they'll just go with people who already have experience on Mars. Art Bratz, infrastructure inspector, quote says, can they guarantee I would be cut off from the real world? And the last one, Karina Moskowitz, preschool recruiter, as her job says, what's the rent? So that's why I like to bring that
What
one
does
up.
a
I thought that was
preschool recruiter do?
well, I think that's kind of the point is that it's all fake.
He's Billy Jean.
Okay.
But Mr.
Not to say that,
Spano,
but even still.
getting another point on that one, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it's time to figure out what the hell my dog is.
I bet it's a dog.
No, it has to be a cat.
Spano is familiar with my dog.
It's a Wookiee.
He sounds like one, right? Like you've been around when he would get like heart growling and shit. He said he would
Yeah.
sound like a Wookiee. And I have a series of pictures here. These are all obviously younger pictures. He's over 16 years old now. And he is still around. But he's old as fuck. Although before I get to Chewie here, I want to make sure I don't forget to do this because as I was going through pictures, you guys, I found this one. Can you guys tell who I'm with? All right, you guys ready to find out who it is?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's former Utah Jazz center Mark Eaton, 7'4".
Mark Eaton.
God. Yeah, I would
Rest in
never guess
peace,
that.
by the way. He passed away. When was that? A few years ago? After like a bicycle accident or a motorbike accident, something like that. So yeah, giant man. By the way, I'm 6'1", so if you're seeing this, you can tell just how goddamn tall Mark Eaton is right there. But back to Chewie. Here's my boy. These are all from when he was around 2 years old. Spano remembers Chewie. He's a good boy.
Absolutely.
So in the chat, if you're there, you guys can go ahead and start kind of firing off guesses what you think he might is. What do you think he might be? Might is. What he might is.
What
So
is he might be?
I put this up on social media asking people for what they thought that he is. And I didn't get any actual answers because everybody just put in, he looks like a good boy. Well, no shit. I was like,
That's the
Jesus.
answer. That's the answer. to the
Yeah.
question.
This is him after we took him to the dog park. Look at this guy. Oh my
Like
God.
a pit terrier mix, like Jack Russell terrier pit mix.
Frank's going pit terrier mix. All right. By the way, did you guys see the clip of Jon Stewart talking about his dog that passed away?
No.
Saw the
That was a
article.
big deal that he was crying about
it's
it.
tough, man. It's a tough watch, but yeah. This is what he looked like frequently on Sundays while I was watching football. Just chilling and relaxing. And then we have Chewie during a thunderstorm in South Florida.
Which is like every day for,
Pretty
about
much
30 minutes.
from about 3 until 3:30 in the afternoon, pretty much every day. And then we even have an action shot here with a younger Brandon and a younger Chewie back when he could do that. Now you can count his spine. All right, so Frank's going like a Jack Russell, like a terrier pit mix. Lan, do you have any guesses on what you think Chewie might be?
Well, I think there's definitely terrier.
Okay.
We'll say terrier Yerman Yeppard.
Yerman Yeppard. All right. And Spano, what do you think he is? Spano's a big dog guy, so.
Man, I agree with the terrier. I'm not that big of a dog guy. I'm gonna go with a corgi terrier.
He's going.
I could be way off.
All right. Well, everybody here automatically gets a point because. Oops, wrong button. It is terrier. He is very much a terrier, and this is what we have right here. This is Chewie's essentially what he is. We went to Embark. That's where we got the we got it done.
Super mutt.
Yep. So we got Russell type terrier, rat terrier, super mutt, American pit bull terrier. Now the two that were mind blowing to me were Chow Chow and Cocker Spaniel.
Well, I could see it in a tail with a chow chow.
Wow.
Super mutt sounds like a 1970s black exploitation film.
Super mutt.
Dolomite and super mutt.
Super mutt. Shaft and super mutt. Clean up
Dolomite
Chicago.
And super mutt. That is fantastic. All right. So there you go. Now you guys know what Chewie is. At 16 flipping years old, that dude is still around and kicking. And there's been a lot of times where
It's a super mutt. That's what's keeping him alive.
it's the super mutt. It is. I mean, truly, there's been times where I'm sitting here in my office and I got a window to the backyard, like right here. And I was watching him move around. I'm like, God, he can hardly move. Like you could just tell that he's struggling to get around. And then 5 minutes later, he's running around like he's a fucking puppy again. So still alive and kicking, ladies and gentlemen, still alive and kicking. All right, it is time for the Gen Z game, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, God.
Frank loves this game. So basically, here's how it works. We got 6 different categories. You got people and places, entertainment, events, culture, science and technology, and sports and hobbies. Each card has 5 different questions on it, one for a different generation. Each generation's worth different points. Gen Z's worth 4, greatest generation worth 3, baby boomers worth 2, Gen X or millennial are each worth 1. So I'm going to ask Frank, with science and technology, your subcategory is energy. Which generation's question do you want?
Gen Z.
He's going Gen Z, so he's going big. He's going for the 4 points. Here we go. Which European city was named the green capital of the world in 2017?
Gotta be like one of those Scandinavian. Which city?
Yep.
Amsterdam.
Going Amsterdam. What's that, Spano?
I was gonna say, now you're gonna actually find out how smart we are, or not.
Oh, he already knows. We've done this for like a month
It's
now.
going
He's
to
pretty much
Amsterdam.
snapped us.
No, I'm sorry. It's not Amsterdam. It is Copenhagen. Yes, after the chewing tobacco, it is Copenhagen. Denmark is known for its environmental policies involving renewable energy. By the way, if you're here in the chat, make sure you guys are hitting the like button on this video. It definitely helps the channel out.
Scandinavians.
All right. Lan, we're going with you next. Span, I'm going you last so you can kind of get a feel for it here. Your subcategory, Lan, is word processing. What generation you want?
We'll go greatest generation.
Going greatest generation for
That's
3
World War
points.
II, Alan.
Thanks, man.
The QWERTY system was developed based on the most commonly used letters involved in what action?
Typing.
You are correct, sir. 3 points for Lan, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Spano, going to you, buddy. Science technology, your subcategory is audio. Oh, look at that. It's like it was destined to be your category. Which generation?
Audio, I'll go audio.
Which generation's question do you want?
What's left?
No. Okay, so it's a new card every time.
Oh,
You can pick any of them.
I can pick Generation X.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yep.
All right, it's going Gen X for 1 point. What music setup found its way back to the mainstream in the 1980s due to growing popularity of hip-hop artists and disc jockeys, a.k.a. DJs?
This should be really easy, right?
Yes.
Oh, man. Can you repeat the question?
What music setup found its way back to the mainstream in the 1980s due to growing popularity of hip-hop artists and disc jockeys, a.k.a. DJs?
What do you mean music setup? What is that?
What do they use?
Music
Yeah, that
setup.
wording is kind of weird.
It is kind of weird, but if you think about it, you should know what it is.
Yeah, I don't. DJing?
What did
I don't
DJs
know.
What did DJs use?
The turntables.
Hey, got
Is that right?
Yeah, it's turntables. We're very confident, though.
It was a
Dude, this
weird
game
question.
gets you to overthink at times. It's,
Yep.
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Frank, back to you there, buddy.
What?
All right, we're on to
Gen X,
events.
Z.
Your subcategory is epic disasters, and we're going Gen Z for 4 points.
Gen Z is the answer to that question.
Epic disasters. All right, shipping, traffic, and supply chains were snarled for almost a week when a giant cargo ship, the Ever Given, got stuck in which canal?
The Suez?
Hey-oh! Frank, 4 points right there. All right, moving on to land. Your subcategory, wars.
Greatest generation.
That's
All
World
right.
War II.
Going for 3 points. The battleships that were sunk in the Battle of Pearl Harbor bore the names of 3 U.S. states. Name one of them.
Ohio.
No. Oh. The Arizona, the Oklahoma, and the Utah. All right, Spano, back to you, buddy.
All right, I'll do the silent generation.
He's going silent generation. Your subcategory is rescue missions. Well, silent generation would be the greatest generation, right?
Yep.
That's as far back as it goes.
I'm just trying to act smart. Go ahead. Feel free to ask me a gear question again. Go ahead.
Turntables.
Turntables.
Which World War II battle were British soldiers being evacuated from if they were
I
riding
don't know.
home?
Next.
It's multiple. You got a multiple choice one.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Trust me, these guys throw fits about it all the time. Which World War II battle were British soldiers being evacuated from if they were riding home on a, quote, little ship? Was it Midway, Dunkirk, or Barbarossa?
They made a movie into it.
Dunkirk.
Turntables.
Hey-oh!
Turntable. I got it.
Turntable, yeah, it's Dunkirk. You got the microphone. Now all you need is 2 turntables. All right, Frank, people and places, your subcategories, landmarks. What generation? Going Z?
We're going Gen Z. We always go Gen Z.
Going Gen Z. A sea of plastic greenhouses in which European country reflects so much sunlight it has a cooling effect on the region?
France.
No.
Scandinavia.
Turntables. No, it's Spain. The white plastic greenhouses at Almeria cover over 150 square miles. That's a lot of
Jesus.
fucking greenhouses. All right, Lan, your subcategory is tourist attractions.
Greatest generation.
He's going greatest generation. Located in California, what was the tallest and longest suspension bridge in the world when it first opened to pedestrians in 1937?
Golden Gate Bridge.
Whoa! 3 more points for Lan. At the time, it only cost 50 cents to cross each way.
Now it's like what, $50?
I have no idea. All right. Spano, your subcategory is trains.
Generation Z.
He's going Gen Z. In order to encourage recycling, some train stations in Beijing offer a public transportation credit in exchange for what type of objects?
Turntables.
Oh man.
So they're trying to
don't
encourage
know.
recycling. They're trying to encourage recycling.
Okay.
You turn these items in and you
Paper
get...
straws. Plastic straws.
Oh, you're so close. You're so close.
Paper bottles. I don't know.
Paper
You
bottles.
said this was in China?
Bottles.
Plastic bottles.
I'm not this stupid, I swear.
Will you sing us the Florida Gators fight song right now?
Oh, Lord.
What?
I don't sing. I'll play it.
I was
play it
gonna
on
say,
my
could you
phone.
recite it? Just say it. No, because I'll get pinged for copyright if you play it.
Oh. No.
All right. All right, moving on to Frank. Entertainment, and your subcategory is actors.
Yeah, let's go Gen Z, because I know everything about Gen Z.
Oh, you should know this one.
Oh.
Which star of Euphoria and Dune authored a self-help book for
Yeah.
tweens entitled Between You and Me?
I honestly, I know her face, but Spider-Man's girlfriend.
Okay,
Mhm.
we need a name.
I don't know her name. I don't
Land?
care enough.
name.
Spano?
No.
Zendaya.
You are correct, sir.
What's her last name?
Aya.
Johnson.
Matter.
First name Zen, last name Daya.
Mary
All right,
Jane.
McGillicuddy.
No, her name isn't.
Yeah.
Her name
You love
isn't.
McGillicuddy.
It's not Mary. It's not Mary Jane. I thought in the movies. She's something else.
Well,
She's
no, it was
MJ.
MJ, but then she like I think in the last one, No Way Home, actually says like it's Mary Jane something something. Like they give the little thing to it, but yeah, like they don't call her Mary Jane though.
I'll look that up real quick. No, it's Michelle Jones. Michelle Jones Watson is the name there. All right.
Watson?
Same thing.
What are we doing here? Frank, who didn't get that one? Frank? So we're on to land.
Uh-huh.
All right, your subcategory is bands. Which generation question do you want, sir?
Baby boomers.
He's going Baby Boomas for 2 points. What band that inspired a widespread love of California culture released their first album entitled Surfin' Safari in 1962?
Oh, Lord.
Ah,
The Beach Boys.
You are correct, sir.
Yes.
All right, so where are we at on this? Land's got 9, Spano's got 7, and Frank's got 4. All right, Spano, you
That
can.
was a great. That was a great Phil Hartman, by the way.
What was?
You are correct, sir. That's Phil Hartman doing.
It's Phil. Oh, it's Phil Hartman doing Ed McMahon.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir. You are correct, sir. All right, Spano, which generation you want? Your subcategory is documentaries.
Yes.
Gen X. What multi-award-winning documentary followed 2 boys in Chicago aspiring to be professional basketball players?
Basketball Diaries. No. Okay, I don't know.
Hoop Dreams.
I actually saw that one. It was pretty good.
Hoop Dreams. All right, we're going back to Mr. Franklin Jonathan Shapples here. And we're on culture. Your subcategory, something that you are all about, dance.
Gen Z.
All right, here we
They know
go.
all about culture.
Francesca Hayward took time off from her role as a principal dancer at the Royal Ballet for what 2019 film?
Yeah, sure she did. You know, she had to go make a movie. 2019,
Yeah.
and she's a dancer.
Yeah, the movie was fucking awful.
I was gonna say Endgame, but she said it was awful. So
Endgame wasn't awful. Endgame's a great movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. I can't choose that one because you said it was awful.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why
No,
I said
it's a pretty
you-
terrible fucking movie. I haven't seen it. I've heard horrible reviews.
Is it the Black Swan?
No, it's Cats.
Oh, okay.
She played an innocent new cat named Victoria. All
Good
right.
Lord.
Lan, you are currently in the lead with 9. What subcategory, or your subcategory is sculpture. What question do you want?
Jesus. We'll go baby boomers.
Going baby boomers in the 1960s and 70s, Robert Indiana created a famous series of sculptures, prints, and cards, all featuring what 4-letter word?
Can that be your favorite 4-letter word?
Suck.
No,
Okay.
cock.
I was like, really?
No, it was love. It was love.
Okay. I was
right.
close.
All right, Spanner, you're 2 points behind Lan right now. If you want to get Cobra in the Stallone movie draft, your subcategory is books. Which generation do you want?
Give me Generation X again.
He's going Gen X for 1 point. What mind-bending Chuck? I always never.
Chuck Norris?
I never remember how to say his last name. Palahniuk
Chuck
novel was adapted for screen with David Fincher as a director. I knew the answer. I just can't pronounce the guy's fucking name.
I have no clue. Can I phone a friend?
No,
No, I don't know.
Well, I mean, people
don't-
are in the chat guessing. Scuba Steve's in there guessing. Vero's in there guessing. The Beard's talking about how you made him give a lap dance
Scotty
in a diaper.
C in there guessing? Scotty C
Yeah,
still in there?
yeah, and he's getting
All
them
right,
right
tell
too.
him to give me an answer.
Scotty C knows, like, okay, look, I'm gonna pause here momentarily so Scotty C can answer, because if he doesn't know this, it will shock me. Chuck Palahniuk. I can never say his last name.
I've never heard that name in my life.
You know the movie though.
Oh, I do?
Yeah. All right. I gotta do a little. It's not what I wanted.
Give me like wah, wah.
No, what I wanted to do was this one here. Fight Club.
Oh, okay. Right.
And I knew that guy's name because he was from Portland, and he actually came and spoke. Remember when we went to Clackamas Community Land? He came and spoke. Oh,
Yeah.
so he got it. He brought it. He got it in at the end.
He did, so I get the point. I get the point.
No,
Got
he
it,
had to
my
get it
boy.
in before I gave you the answer.
What?
All right, fine. I'll give you the point. All right, final category. Here we go. This is for all the marbles on who's going to get to pick first for the Stallone movie draft. Sports and hobbies. Frank, your subcategory, tennis.
Jesus. Yeah, let's go Gen Z. Why not?
It's going Gen Z. It's going big, ladies and gentlemen. Who won her 23rd Grand Slam title at the 2017 Australian Open while 2 months pregnant?
Serena Williams.
Hey-oh! There you go. Frank getting himself...
About the only tennis player I know.
All right. And we're moving on to... So where are we at? So you're at 8. Lands at 9. He's in the lead. And this one's right up his alley. Soccer.
Football.
Football? We'll go Gen Z.
He's going Gen Z, ladies and gentlemen. Who surpassed Pele's record of most goals scored for a single club with his 644th goal in 2020?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
He currently wears pink.
Yeah, it's Messi.
Messi.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a messy question. And the beard says Penis Williams in the chat.
Turntables.
Why? I don't know. All right, so Spano, here you got 8 points. Land's got 9. Frank's got 8. Your category for the final question. Football.
Okay.
Which generation do you want?
The greatest generation.
You're going old school?
Yep.
All right. Which NFL team did not win 3 championships in the 1950s? The Cleveland Browns, the Green Bay Packers,
50s.
or the Detroit... Dude, that's the greatest generation! Do you want to pick a different one? Just because you're a guest on the show, I'll let you do it.
No, that's okay. You said the Packers, Browns, or Lions?
Yeah. Which team did not
the
win 3
50s?
championships in the 50s?
I think the Lions is a trick answer. I'm going to go with... I know the Browns did. With Jim Brown. I know they did. I'm going to go Packers in the 50s.
Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, he gets a big 1, 2, 3 points on that one. And he gets the big fanfare.
I just want to say that the 2 guys from Florida, the only soccer player that they pull out of their hat is Messi.
Well, and I don't think either of them really ever watch soccer. So, by the way, so on the same card that you had, Spano. First of all, in 2008, now obviously these points don't count, but in 2008, what did David Tyree use to help him make one of the most memorable catches in NFL history in the championship game? His helmet. His helmet.
Yeah. Man.
Now, this one is a callback to Spano's Big Radio Show. And Scotty C is going to know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about on this one, because this was the millennial question. At the end of the final NFL game in 2000, meaning the Super Bowl, how many yards from a winning touchdown was Tennessee Titans wide receiver Kevin Dyson?
It was like a yard, right?
It was 1 yard, which, by the way, it was not a winning touchdown. It would have, if they kicked, that would have put them down by 1, and then they still would have had to kick the extra point to tie it up and send it to overtime. But that one, and I got to send this, I got to put this in the chat here and send you guys to Spano's channel. Give me 2 seconds here, because I got to tell you, it was one of the, would you call it a highlight or a low light that we had with this one?
Was that the in the dumper?
No, I forgot about in the dumper. I also forgot about the medallion of fur.
Oh, that's great.
No, but but Scotty's got it. He said it's. Remember, this was the too soon.
Yes.
So
Too soon, McNair. That's right.
So yeah. So basically, and I'm going to put the link to Spano's entire channel in the chat right now, so you guys can find it. But if you scroll down to some of the Spano's Big Radio stuff, there's one that's called McNair Too Soon. And if you don't know, Steve McNair was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And then knowing that, go ahead, go watch that clip. But there's some good stuff over there. But congratulations, John Spano! Anybody you want to thank? Nobody? There's nobody you want to thank?
Zendaya McGillicuddy.
Oh, I love me some Zendaya McGillicuddy. All right, here we go. It is time for the Stallone movie draft. Spano, big Stallone fan, am I correct?
Huge.
He loves
He
him.
just recently moved to Florida.
He loves him some Stallone. Yeah, Scotty C says definitely a top 5 moment. That's the thing, is there was a lot of top 5 moments that we had doing that show.
A lot of gems. Yeah, definitely.
Medallion of Fur when we were waxing John Jones on the air. The beard getting tattooed. The beard going out in a bikini. The beard showing up in a diaper.
And giving lap dances.
And giving lap dances at bars. I mean, this was all gold. All right, so order here. We got Spano, Lan, Frank, and then me. Spano, I think I know what your number 1 pick is going to be, but I will let you go. Oh, and the beard, they have the
Should I surprise you, or should I just...
Hold on. They have her full name, by the way. It's Zendaya Marie Stormer Coleman.
McGillicuddy.
Yeah, I would have got that.
McGillicuddy.
I was close. Yeah.
All right, look, it's completely up to you. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to build the best triple feature of Stallone movies. And this is completely based on whatever you like. And then the thing is, we're going to do it in a draft order. And once one of the movies is picked, it's off the board. So what are you going with first there, Mr. Span Man?
I'm changing it up, man. I'm surprising you.
Oh.
I mean, it's not a huge surprise, but you think I'm taking Cobra. If I gotta take a number 1 pick of a Stallone flick, I'm going Rocky 4, man.
Ooh!
Shit! Russian. Come on, man. Let me tell you, one of only 2 movies that have made me cry. When he's talking to his kid after the fight. Man, how do you beat that?
That the one with the robot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Paulie's girlfriend. Yep.
If he dies, he dies. All right,
That's
all
my
right. Going
favorite
Rocky.
Rocky
Look
movie.
at you going rogue. What's the other movie that made you cry?
Beaches.
Elf.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Beaches.
I have. I saw it as a kid. It traumatized me.
Have you never seen
It's
you've
sad.
never seen like Brian's song or anything like that?
I've never seen Brian's song,
Oh.
believe it or not.
Waterboy, that didn't make you cry?
Debbie Does Dallas?
Yeah.
I do have to tell you. So Buzz, who was the host of the morning show down here when I was the producer, the one movie that he was willing to admit made him get choked up, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh my god.
He's talking about how at the end when
Robin Williams.
when he's as Mrs. Doubtfire and he's basically kind of talking about, you know, couples getting growing apart and love it. He's like, yeah, like that's the one thing that actually has made me tear up. All right, we're moving on to Lan here. Clearly upset. Rocky 4 is off the board. What you going with? Steal Cobra from him. Fuck it, take it.
No, I'm sticking.
Do
I'm
it.
sticking with what I like. So I'm going with Demolition Man.
Oh,
Oh,
you
good pick.
son of a bitch! That was my number 1 pick. All right, so I was in Julie Jewell's chat, I think over the weekend, and we were kind of talking about the stuff that we're going to be doing, and we got on the topic of Demolition Man and the 3 seashells. Have you guys heard the explanation of the 3 seashells?
Heard like 12 different explanations.
Well,
for
there's
it.
one that
one of
comes
them's
from
the scoop.
Stallone. So his
What's that?
exact quote is, "Okay, this may be bordering on grotesque, but the way it was explained to me by the writer is you hold 2 seashells like chopsticks. Fuck. Pull gently and scrape what's left with the third."
What are you pulling?
What are you scraping? Like, what? How does that?
I mean, you're done at that point. There's nothing else to pull. Unless you're over 60.
Making like a Choco Taco.
I mean, yeah,
my
Taco
God.
Bell was still around. You don't need to worry about pulling anything. That stuff will just push right out.
Oh my God. All right, moving on. Frank, what's your number 1 pick?
I'm going with Copland.
Oh, you fuckers.
I loved him in Copland.
I think that's my top 3 already off the board.
You're welcome, sir.
Fuck, that's a good
I'm
movie.
impressed.
That is a
You guys are
really good
impressing
movie.
me.
Oh, Man, all right. God damn it. Now I gotta reassess everything here.
Google
I
it.
guess we already know what one of your movies is going to be.
What, Cobra?
No.
Rambo.
Which one do you think I would pick of his?
Well, you have a theme going on.
Yeah. That last, okay. So, do you know what theme I have going on with my movie pick, Spano? Have you heard that
he's
at all?
going. Nope, he hasn't.
It's Kurt Russell. So far, every week we've done this, I've had a Kurt Russell movie in my picks, except last week when we did basketball, because I don't think he's actually, unless I wanted to somehow throw Miracle in there and make that a basketball movie, but that doesn't count. So, do you guys know which one I'm going with here?
Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash, ladies and gentlemen. Tango and Cash. Kurt Russell lives on. He's not dead anyway. And so my number 2 pick, maybe not necessarily the greatest. Well, shit. You know, no, fuck you. I'm taking Rocky. I'm taking Rocky 1. God damn it. I'm like somehow that one hasn't been picked. I'm going with Rocky 1. All right.
Shame in that.
All right. Frank, what's your next pick?
My next one, I'm going with Assassins.
Assassins.
Because that was a great, Assassins. That's how I said it at that age. So when it came out, it's Assassins as my pick.
He's going with Assassins. All right, and back to Lan. What are you pairing up with Demolition Man right now?
I'm going. This movie made me want to become a truck driver when I was a kid.
Oh my God.
I'm going with Over the Top.
God damn it! I knew it. That's the one I was gonna go with, and then I went with Rocky instead. And Rocky sucks.
Son of
It's such a good movie. Like, it's so stupid and cheesy, but I mean, again, it was one of those movies that was always on. Am I right?
Yeah.
When we were kids, like, it was always on TBS or WGN. Like,
Well, I thought that's what truck drivers did.
yeah,
Is they just go
stop
around
everywhere
driving
and arm
trucks
wrestle?
and then arm wrestle.
I did too. Oh God,
Meet me halfway across the sky.
so
That's my
so
singing. That's all you get.
I do have. It was fantastic. I got to clip that and I'm going to send that to you. I do have, like, I've legitimately seen a dude's arm break in an arm wrestling match right in front of me, and it was fucking
Is
disgusting.
that when 93 Rock had their tournaments going?
It was. I was
Yeah,
filling in for.
I was in one of those tournaments, by the way.
Were you really? So
was.
before you were on the station with us?
Before I came to 93 Rock.
Oh,
I've
shit.
only lost in my life 3 times in arm wrestling. True story.
Well, because you have gigantic
one-
fucking arms.
One is to some kid in high school that was just a freak. The other one was to Steve Hutchinson, NFL Hall of Famer.
Oh.
He was a year behind me in high school, and I could barely grab his hand. And then 93 Rock tournament. Always wished I could do like the arm wrestling championships or whatever, but I mean, I never pursued it. And then 93 Rock started having at the local bar
Yep.
tournaments. And I'm like, oh, I got to do it. So I gathered my buddies up. I don't know if Scotty C was there or not. I know some of the other buddies were. And I go in and I rip through my first 2 opponents. Bam, bam. And I have a picture of it somewhere. Third guy, I don't know what the hell happened. But I felt like an infant. Like, he destroyed me in like 2 seconds. It was nothing. And then I later found out when I worked at 93 Rock and I talked to one of the other DJs that was involved. Apparently, not enough people showed up to the arm wrestling tournament.
They brought in
called
ringers.
in professionals.
Yeah.
They brought in ringers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks.
Yeah.
for
The
that.
one
My
time, I hosted, there was this one kid, and he was in like one of the lighter brackets, and he had been hanging out at the bar. He didn't want to do it that night, but he'd done it multiple times, and they were looking for people to do it. They ended up getting him up on stage, and they tell you it only takes 14 pounds of pressure to break your arm. So when you're sitting there and you're doing it, that's why they tell you keep your body in line with your arm. Don't lean back like this. And sure as shit, we're up at the table, And I'm on the mic, and they're like, and so they basically tell me, you need to announce to the whole bar what's happening. So I'm saying, this guy's got his lead, and this guy's doing this, and then out of nowhere you hear this, like it sounded like somebody breaking a fucking 2x4.
Oh God.
And all of us, you just heard me go, holy shit. On the mic. Because I knew a lot of the bouncers that worked there, and so one of the guys came over to me and he just puts his arm around me. He goes, "Hey, maybe the next time that happens, you don't yell holy shit on the microphone." I was like, yeah. I'm like, dude, it shocked the shit out of me. And so like the kid's sitting there. Oh, and we had a guest judge. There was this one guy that they called him Big John, and he just ran through a lot of the competition, where he was even talking to the normal referee who was there, who's a professional arm wrestler, and about getting into the circuit or whatever you want to call it. And so he was there as the referee, and he told me he scooped the kid's arm and he kind of made a makeshift sling with his t-shirt. And afterwards he's like, dude, I could feel the bones doing that. You are welcome.
Never lean back.
You guys have
Never
now
lean
found
back.
out
Always
about the
push
3
forward.
seashells.
Push forward.
The 3 seashells and what happens when your arm breaks. All right, here we go.
There you
go. Spano, what are you pairing up with Rocky for? You get to go back to back here, by the way.
Man, I'm gonna go Rambo 2.
Rambo 2. Not First
I
Blood.
love First Blood. Love it, but I'm gonna go Rambo 2.
All right. What are you
Got
pairing up
to.
with that?
Oh, I go back to back?
Snake draft, baby.
Oh man. This is
come
rough.
on.
I mean, do I go?
There's no fucking way you
do
don't
I
pick
go
this movie.
Cobra?
There's a
Do I go
whole-
Michael Cabretti? Do I with the toothpick and the shades and the?
I'm telling you, go to that
There's
link.
so many good ones.
Go to the link that I put in the chat. When this live stream is done, everybody go to that link and go to the videos and go to the very bottom and find the Cobra promo. Because live on the air, he was describing this scene. So what I did is I took that scene and I chopped it with him describing it. And he gets so excited describing that scene.
All right, I'm
But
gonna
don't
go
let me
Cobra.
sway
I gotta
you.
do it. I gotta do it.
You doing Cobra?
I gotta do it.
All right.
Yep.
All right, we're going Cobra. All right, so back to land. You got Demolition Man and Over the Top, 2 fantastic movies.
I've only seen this movie once, and I remember watching it when I was a kid. But it co-starred the great Bobby Moore and the even greater Pele, and we're talking about Victory.
Victory.
Interesting.
Nice.
Deep cut on that one. All right, Frank, we're on to you.
Yeah, I got 2 that I could go with here. One of them's. I'm just gonna go for the popcorn flick on this one. I'm going with Judge Dredd.
Oh, going Judge.
I am the law.
You are going Judge Dredd.
I am going Judge Dredd.
What was your other choice you were going to go with?
Driven. It's the Formula One movie that he was in with Burt Reynolds. Came out in 2001. I actually saw it in theaters. Really good movie. A lot of people don't know about it. Didn't really do too well, but it's really good.
Yeah, we pretty much cut through most of the ones that I had on my list here, and I still don't know which one I'm going to go with for my final.
You're gonna go with this porn flick.
I was thinking about going with. I put that up here. Actually, I got to show you that. So that's what I put up. So generally, if you guys ever want to see it on my YouTube channel, what you guys are able to do is you guys can vote on the poll. And so essentially what I did is I put up a poll. What is the greatest Sylvester Stallone movie of all time? And I put Rocky, First Blood, Party at Kitty and Studs, or something else.
I feel like nobody knew what that was.
2% of people voted for Party at Kitty and Studs, the Italian.
Yeah, probably after they looked it up and they went, "Oh hell yeah!"
Oh hell yeah!
So if you aren't familiar,
Alan on all the couch.
If you aren't familiar with Party at Kitty and Studs, that would be the softcore porn that he filmed as he was struggling to make it big. Some of the other honorable
in more ways
mentions.
than one, right? Hey,
we have basically all of the Expendables movies. Rocky Balboa or any of the other Rocky movies. Would you guys would have considered the Creed movies? Stallone movies?
the ones that he was in, yeah. I mean, he played a big enough role.
Okay.
At least in that first one.
Don't forget, you got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yep.
The Suicide Squad. Rambo, technically First Blood. Don't forget, he was also in Ants.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
However, I'm going to go rogue here, but Scuba Steve and I apparently think alike. My final pick
That
is
could be dangerous.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice. Yep.
All right, here we go. Here are the picks. Spano, he's got Rocky 4, Rambo 2, and Cobra. Lan has Demolition Man Over the Top and Victory. Frank has Copland, Assassins, and Judge Dredd. And my triple feature is Assassins. I had Tango and Cash, Rocky, and Cliffhanger are my final ones. If you guys have any comments you want to leave in the old the chat right there, you guys are more than welcome to do that. As we wrap things up here, I want to thank Mr. John Spano for joining us. It's always fun broadcasting with you, my man.
Yes, sir. Back at you. Can I do some honorable mentions here?
Hell yeah.
Let me do any honorable mentions. How about, do you guys know this one? Lords of Flatbush.
No.
I've never seen
Wow. Gotta check it out, man.
it. Was that
A
another
lot of
softcore
famous
porn? Because it
actors.
sounds like another softcore
No,
porn. It sounds
no.
like a bunch of flat-chested chicks with big bushes.
No, just a New York movie back in the day with the greasers and the fancy
Oh wow,
cars.
Fonzie was in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Arthur Fonzarelli?
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
What else you got?
I got Oscar. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Comedy. It was pretty good.
That
Marissa
one-
Tomei was in it.
Who put in somebody in the chat? Oh, Scotty C put that. The bottom 3 Stallone flicks. Oscar.
I understand. Some
He
people,
also-
a lot of people.
And he also put Stop or My Mom Will Shoot and Rhinestone.
Rhinestone.
Rhinestone. Nice call.
You got any other honorable mentions?
Yeah, nobody picked First Blood.
Oddly enough, no.
That's crazy.
Not a single person went with
Crazy.
First Blood.
Bullet to the Head was pretty good.
Mm.
That's a pretty good action flick.
Don't forget Death
Yeah.
Race 2000.
I'm surprised Judge Dredd was taken.
Really?
I liked it. I had the poster up in my room. I worked at a movie theater when it came out. Actually, I had a poster and a letter that was sent to the movie theater from the movie studio. It was pretty cool, yeah. I had it up in my room.
I kind of feel like we could go through all of his movies and we could play the game called Porno or Not. Because on this list here, did you guys remember in, was it 1978? Fist?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Victory's on there. There's your Lords of Flatbush. Yeah, they got that duck's ass haircut going on there, man. All right, Spano, plug your gay for the Gators.
Hey,
Gay for
all
the kids. And demonetized.
All for the Gators
I said
podcast.
yay
4
for
is
the
the number
Gators.
4. You can go to allforthegatorspodcast.com. Each episode, we have a Gator great on each episode. It's all about them. Good stuff, man. We don't talk recruits. We don't talk current Gators or anything like that. Plenty
The
of
stuff
those
people
podcasts
want.
out there. We just talk.
So you don't talk to the stuff
Yeah,
people
just-
want.
We talk to the Gator greats, see how they're doing, reminisce, and they tell some stories that we've never heard. So it's a good time.
Oh, who's okay? I got to restart the song because we're not done yet. I need to ask you a few more questions. So who have you had on?
We've had Jabbar Gaffney twice. We had him on, and then we did his Hall of Fame special because he was put into the UF Hall of Fame this year.
Tim Tebow,
Chris Doring, Lito Shepard,
Aaron Hernandez.
We had Kewan Ratliff. No, too soon, buddy. Too soon.
What?
A lot of Gator greats from all different eras.
Urban Meyer.
All Amer-
Oh,
No, he's exclusive to another podcast, but we got Coach Ron Zook coming on the 5th.
Zucker.
Spurrier.
Not yet. He's
I'm
in
just
my
going
back
through people
pocket.
who I know
We
who
got
are
connect-
Gators. Dominique Easley.
No, not yet. I'm in
About
touch
the
with
guy
him,
that
though.
threw the shoe on the field in costume.
Marco Wilson. No, I haven't contacted him yet. He's not a fan favorite.
Hey, but maybe that's what'll work, and that's what'll do. So essentially, you got it on a couple of radio stations down there, but it is a podcast, so people can get it wherever they get their podcast.
Anywhere you get your podcast, YouTube, you can ask Alexa to play us. You can go to allforthegatorspodcast.com. All our shows are there. You can see our schedule of guests that we have coming up to see who we're going to be talking to. And a big play vault. How about that?
What's a big play vault?
And their biggest plays.
Oh.
It's just a section where we have clips of some of their biggest plays.
Like Kevin Dyson,
Like against FSU.
1 yard
FSU
short.
in 96. Ike Hilliard. Anybody remember that play?
Frank?
Sorry, I toned out most of the games that we lose. The last 2 years have been really good for Florida State and the Gators, if I can say so myself. Especially last year with our backup. We got knocked out and still got back in the game.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right. We got some good recruits coming in.
All right, so definitely
Easy lag way.
go check out All for the Gators,
That first game's gonna be
the
nuts for you
podcast.
guys.
Remember, it's the number 4 when you're talking about that, and then we also have go check out that link of the Spanos Big Radio Show stuff that I put in the YouTube chat because there's some really funny things there. There's the promo that I do is Lou Holtz when I called into the show because I was on vacation for that weekend. There's the Too Soon promo. There is the
Jason Giambi.
There's Jason Giambi. There's you getting all fired up about Caleb Sturgis.
Yeah, no, that was it me or Al?
Who was it?
We had a third host, Al, and he did impersonations, and we had him on like a Viking on the phone. He sounded like a Viking, and we acted like we were talking to Caleb Sturgis because the name sounds like.
Oh yeah, and then we also had to have there's the one where Spano quotes Swingers because you groans up and you groans up and you groans up.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, how about what did we used to do before the show?
What did we used to do before the show?
Dr.
Oh my
J.
fucking god!
We didn't even mention that.
We've been ending the show now for like 20 minutes, but I totally forgot. So okay,
sorry.
so really quick.
I'll shut up.
No, hell no, this is great.
All right.
So we were on an AM station where we essentially paid to be on the air for an hour, and the station people would purchase time, and it was usually like health people, like if it was a doctor or something, they would go do an hour on the radio where they would answer people's questions and things like that. But I cannot remember what the hell the name was. But we did this fake, like public access psychology.
Like 5 minutes before our show started, when we came at a commercial, for the board op let us have an extra 5 minutes. So
Yes.
we called it something Dr. J something.
It was
I don't
Dr.
remember.
Julius Irving and something.
Yes, Dr. Julius Irving. And Brant, Goat, whatever you go by these days. You were Dr. Julius Irving, and you spoke really soft.
I spoke like this, and then we're talking. to
Yeah,
these
and you
people.
always had a guest on that had like a major medical issue. Just the crazy, like anal relapse. And, like, dude, it was, and I was like the backwoods, hick kind of person that's got this anal relapse problem, and
He would go.
and
Okay,
it was
he would go to the other end of the hallway to call in the show, so he sounded like a caller. And there were people who legitimately were confused. Like they would ask us afterwards. They're like, "Hey, so what's on before you guys? Because we tuned you in, and that was some weird shit going on." Fuck, do you still have that
Oh
stuff?
my
Do you still have
God.
those recordings?
I'm sure I do somewhere.
I was gonna say, I think I gotta have them
I gotta
somewhere.
have them on a computer.
Fuck. Anyway,
Yeah, one person would just fall asleep. What's it? Narcolepsy.
Is it
So he's trying
necrophilia?
to interview me. It was so funny that one time, and I've never passed out in my life, and I was starting to laugh so hard I had to leave the studio, and I started to walk, and I couldn't get enough oxygen. I literally passed out and hit the wall. That's a true story.
Oh,
so funny.
man. Again, go check out. So it's Spano's old YouTube channel. It's got a lot of results. Oh my God. You can also go check out the Best Damn Brew review from like 2010 or whenever it was. And you can see this tiny
Brew?
little, the brew review. this tiny little lady that I was like, "Do you want to be on our website?" And she's like, "Sure." And she's like 4'5". You can tell she was already a little bit tipsy. Oh my God. Go watch those videos. For the love of Christ, go watch those videos. They're hilarious. But on that note, we do have to wrap this up. Thank you again, Mr. Spano, for being here with us. And thank you everybody else who waited out actually showing up for this live stream, because it took me so goddamn long to get it going because Discord changed a setting. But on that note, have yourselves a fantastic Wednesday, and we'll see you guys following Wednesday. We're still looking. So essentially, Shim is the one that's normally here. He's out for about a month and a half, and we're trying to just kind of fill in with guests. So, maybe we'll come up with some other fun stuff here as we progress through the month of March. Say bye, everybody.
Stay
See
gold.
ya.